Hiring managers decide in the first 5 minutes, and this one page makes them decide yes. Not your resume. Not your degree. A single sheet of paper almost nobody thinks to bring.
Wait, back up. You're saying I can walk into an interview holding a piece of paper that basically closes the deal before I even answer the hard questions?
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's called a 30/60/90 day plan. It's a short outline of what you'd actually do in your first 3 months on the job, and it flips the entire dynamic of the room.
Okay, but I always thought those plans were an executive thing. Like, C-suite candidates bring them. Not someone applying for a marketing coordinator or a software engineer role.
And that's the whole opportunity. Because everyone assumes it's only for executives, almost no regular candidate does it. Which means when you show up with one, you're not competing anymore. You're in a category of one.
Alright, I'm listening. But why does it hit so hard in those first 5 minutes? What's actually happening in the hiring manager's brain?
Here's the psychology. Every interviewer is secretly running one simulation. Can I picture this person doing the job? Most candidates make them do that imaginative work themselves. The plan does it for them.
Oh, that's clever. You're handing them the mental movie already filmed. Instead of maybe this person could work out, it becomes this person is already working here.
Exactly. And there's a bias behind it called the endowment effect. Once someone can vividly imagine you in the role, they start to feel like they'd be losing something if they don't hire you.
So the plan isn't really about the plan. It's about making them feel like you already belong there. Okay, so what actually goes on this magic page? Break it down.
3 sections, and each has a theme. Days 1 through 30, learning. This is where you show humility. You're not storming in to blow things up. You're absorbing, meeting the team, understanding the systems.
Give me a concrete example, because learning can sound vague and fluffy.
Sure. For a sales role, complete product training, shadow 3 top reps, review the last 2 quarters of pipeline data, and map the current sales process end to end. Specific. Measurable. Humble.
I like that. It signals you know you don't know everything yet. What about days 30 to 60?
That's the contributing phase. Now you're taking what you learned and starting to add value. Small wins. For that same sales role, take over a warm lead segment, run my first outreach campaign, and hit 50% of a ramped quota.
So 30 is watch, 60 is do. Which means 90 must be, own it.
You got it. Days 60 to 90, leading and optimizing. Hit full quota, propose one improvement to the outreach template based on what I've learned, and mentor the next new hire on onboarding. That last part quietly says, I'm sticking around.
That's a subtle flex, showing you're already thinking about the future, not just surviving the probation period. But hold on, isn't there a risk here? What if I get the details wrong?
Great question, and this is where most people freeze. You will get some details wrong. You don't have inside information yet. And that's totally fine because the plan isn't a contract.
So how do I frame it so I don't look presumptuous, like I'm telling them how to run their company?
You use one magic phrase when you hand it over. I put together a rough plan of how I'd approach my first 90 days. I'd love your feedback on where I've got it right and wrong. That turns it from arrogance into collaboration.
Oh, that's smart. Now you've started a working conversation. You're literally rehearsing what it's like to work together before you've been hired.
And that conversation is gold. When they start correcting your plan, actually, we'd want you to focus on X first. They've stopped interviewing you. They're onboarding you. In their head, you already got the job.
Let's get practical. How do I even research enough to build this without insider access? Because I can't just make it up.
3 sources. First, the job description. Every bullet is a clue about their priorities. Second, the company's recent news, product launches, funding, earnings calls. Third, LinkedIn. Look at people who currently hold the role and see what they actually do.
And if the interview conversation reveals something new, you can literally point to your plan and adjust it live. Based on what you just said, I'd move this priority up. That's incredibly powerful.
It really is. Now a design note, keep it to 1 page. No walls of text. 3 clean sections, a few bullets each. If it looks like a term paper, they won't read it and you've lost the effect.
And bring 2 printed copies, or have a clean PDF ready to share screen if it's remote. Nothing kills the moment like fumbling for a file while they wait.
Here's the part that surprises people most. Even if your plan is imperfect, the act of bringing one changes how they see everything else you say. Suddenly you're the proactive candidate, and every answer gets graded on a curve.
Because it's a signal. It says, this person doesn't wait to be told what to do. And that's the single most expensive trait to find in a new hire. You just proved it before they paid you a cent.
So the takeaway, stop memorizing answer scripts everyone else is reciting. Spend that same hour building one simple page that shows you've already started the job in your head.
Do that, and you walk in as the only candidate who showed up already working there. 5 minutes in, the decision's basically made.